Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies. My name is Lindsay, and we are so excited that you are joining us this morning. I say we because I am joined by my co-host, Nick. Good morning, Nick.
Dun 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 dun. I turned up my mic just for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Dude, go ahead and tell the story. Go and tell the story.
No, I have my intro to do. Hold on. If this is your first time listening to Coffee and Cookies, we like to talk about life, leadership, positivity, growth mindset, parenting.
Pick on Lindsay.
Oh, yes. Yes. Nick is in a mood today, y'all. Just be prepared, okay? Be prepared. And if you are listening to this on our podcast channels, go ahead and join us on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live every workday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We like to interact with our audiences on there, so if you hear tangents, that's because we're interacting with our audiences. So come join us and be a part of our audience on one of those three channels, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Today, the show is sponsored by Social Media Torch.
No one disagrees. It's not pick on Lindsay Day. It's pick on Nick Day.
Oh, I like this idea way better. Thank you, Social Media Torch, for sponsoring this show. They create content on purpose and for a purpose. Go learn more about their solutions for SEO, social media, and email marketing with one product. Go to their website, socialmediatorch.com. Okay, now I'm done.
Now you're done. Well
Now
done,
I'm
Lindsay.
done.
Well done. So welcome to the show, ladies and
man.
gentlemen. Have I been in a mood? No, I've been in a mood. I'm not in a mood. I'm just, picking
I will say,
it's almost
you
like
just said, I'm always in a mood.
I'm always in the mood.
You
But
said
I'm not
you
in a
were
mood.
always in a mood.
I'm always, but not in the mood. Welcome to Mornings with Nick. Oh my gosh, this is a little split screen action here.
dear.
Let's get this pulled up over there.
Y'all, I need you to pray for me.
Well, hold on. I was singing my song and I pulled up the volume and I said, I need to pull up the volume so you can hear me. And what did Lindsay say?
Nick doesn't need the volume turned up in order to hear him.
So who's getting picked on?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll let the audience decide.
Lindsay, before the show got... Good morning, Thomas. How you doing, brother? Before the show got started, you started off with some stories, and I think the audience is going to want to listen to them. Let's talk about last night.
I actually have a great story.
Last night was Wednesday night, and
Yes.
you guys chose to go to service.
Yes.
And go ahead.
Like all my call outs, all of them, or just the one at church.
You can start with start with the funny story, and then we're gonna go down the prayer story, and then we're gonna go into Nick's list of topics. So sorry, everyone, if we even get there.
So I've been working on my self-discipline, right? Working on my self-discipline. I'll get to the funny story.
I
I feel like this will help. I think somebody needs to hear this. So
Okay.
I'm going to share.
All right. Lindsay's self-discipline.
Yes. Working on it. Not my strong suit, but working on it. So I have
Thank
these
you for
thoughts.
working on it.
I know. I have these thoughts and I'm like, do I share this or is this a internal battle that I just need to handle myself? So yesterday, like we've had a busy weekend. We've had a busy week so far. Yesterday I had the thought, I'm like, do we really need to go to church? Do we really need to go to church? Can we just stay home? Like, I would just love to be able to stay home and relax, like have a normal night. And I didn't share this with my husband because I was thinking, no, Lindsay, you're just trying to be lazy. Like, get over yourself.
Just so you know, Amber's proud of you working on your discipline. Amber's proud of you.
She's so proud of me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Amber. And so my husband, he actually texted me yesterday around 3:00, and he's like, "What do you think about staying home tonight?"
Mm-hmm.
And the really easy thing would have been like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And it did sound great. It did. I'm like, I told him, I said, I had that exact same thought.
Mm-hmm.
And he picked me up because we're one car family right now. And he picked me up from work. And I was like, so are we going to church tonight? And he goes, well, we're getting home earlier than I thought we would. So, I mean, we could. But what are your thoughts on it? And I said, I feel like it's been is it like an internal discipline issue for me of like, do I want to stay home because I want to be lazy, or is it something that I can, that's legitimized? Is that a word?
Let's just roll with it.
Yeah, let's roll with that.
Roll.
And so I struggling, like back burner struggling since he messaged me at 3:00, right? And I had this little voice inside me that said, why are you laughing?
Because this is so much longer than what you told me earlier.
Oh, well, yeah, but you know me. So anyway, so I have this story in the back of my head, voice conversation. And it says, why wouldn't you want to spend time with me? Why would you choose to not spend time with me? And I was like, oh, that like, okay, called out. So
voice.
We went to church.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And it was great. So funny story. Yeah. Real quick, funny story. Went to church and pastor was like, hey, is anybody believing for something? And, we raised our hands, and everybody should be believing for something, right? In my mind, you should be believing for something. So we raised our hand. He's like, go ahead and step out to the stage. So like 90% of the audience went up to the stage, and I'm like standing right at the stage, and he's speaking and we're praying, and then we all start to sing, right? And it's quiet at first, like just piano, and then the bass starts. And a few minutes later, I'm like chuckling to myself because the bass is breaking up all of my gas bubbles in my belly, and I'm burping at the front of the stage. So I'm like singing here, praising God, and I'm just burping. It was hilarious for me. Nobody else knew what was going on, but like the bass it was good. It was strong bass.
He got called to the front and it released all of the bubbles. Release the bubbles.
And I got done and I'm like, I feel better.
So
But I'm like, I don't know if it's because I was praying and singing or because I got to get rid of my gas bubbles.
Oh, goodness. Good morning, Vic. How you doing, brother?
There.
Good morning, Brian. Thank you for joining us on LinkedIn, man. Lindsay, that is greatness. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the story. All right, now, that's the funny story.
Yeah.
We also had a conversation about prayer.
Yes. So I was doing this.
We're on a roll with prayer this morning. So you're doing
this Bible study.
Yep. Go,
on my
girl, go.
YouVersion Bible app called Dangerous Prayers.
And you are dangerous.
Yes. So it said at the end of it, like, how many, if you looked and analyzed the prayers over the last 6 months, how many of those prayers are focused on you and what you want? And how many of those prayers are focused on what God wants? Like, in the rest of the world? Like, how many of your prayers are helping the world be a better place? Or how many of those prayers are helping your world be a better place? And I felt a little called out.
Why?
Because I don't pray for the world. I mean, it's not my default.
No.
To pray for.
Okay, so I'm gonna maybe I interrupt for a second.
Ahead,
I'm gonna give the answer that you actually gave.
Yes.
Because right now you're paraphrasing. You said I'm great at praying for the people that are in my circle, but not so great about praying for the people outside of my circle.
Yeah.
And that was that was the answer. That is what you said. That is what you said. And go to the front of church. You'll never know what God will do. There you go. Right, Dustin? Dustin, good morning, brother. Dustin joining us over here on the U of the Tube, YouTube. So So you said that you felt a little call out about that, right?
Yes, I did.
And what was my response? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. It's okay.
We've had a lengthy chat.
It's
actually.
okay. I said, you don't need to feel called out.
Oh, that's right.
You need. Do you want to finish it?
Yeah, you need to look at this as your mind is expanding.
Your mind is expanding. Okay. Now here we go. Right. There's been an ever-going theme in my life right now, and you've probably seen this before, but I'm going to show, in case you're watching for the first time, I'm going to show you again. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of the people around you, your family, and then you take care of everyone else. Okay. Now, when I discuss this with other people, I say, great, you almost have like rings. Do you remember the movie Zorro?
Yes.
Okay.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And when Zorro's getting trained, there's the rings, the rings of engagement. Okay.
Is that what it's called?
Engagement, not like you're marrying someone, engagement like fighting. The rings of engagement, okay? And with every ring, you bring the person that you're fighting a little bit closer to you. Well, this goes the opposite direction. Okay? You focus on yourself, you pray for yourself, you make sure that you are grounded. Then you pray for family, then you pray for the people that are in your circles, and then you pray for the world. Because you can't be praying for the world if you yourself are not grounded.
Well, you can.
You can, but it's you want to know what? It's not that you can't. It's that you cannot. I'm going to use money. You can't bless others if you're not financially taking care of yourself, right? You can't lead others if you're not leading yourself.
You can, but it's unwise.
Hopefully you have enough common sense not to do it.
Sean's in the comments.
What? Haven't seen Sean in almost like a month and a half.
I
Good
know.
morning, Sean. How you doing, brother? Love you too, Brian. You have a great day, brother. Thank you for joining us over here on LinkedIn. So, yes, if you are ignorant, you can do it. If you are unconsciously incompetent, if you're like, I'm going to lead people, but you're not able to lead yourself, it's not going to work. And here we go, right? Here we go. You listen, hear me on this. If you try to do that, people will see that you're not doing it yourself and they will leave. Okay. It's, can you do it wrong? Can you do it wrong? Well, can you do it wrong? Yes, you can do it wrong. Right. So let's go to your prayer life. If you're not praying for yourself, if you're not in tune with God, how can I expect you to pray for the rest of the world? Okay. And actually be able to make an impact. Because there are things called empty prayers. And you don't want to be that person. Okay? If you're going to be a leader and you're actually going to do this, make sure you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, your circles, and then go out. So the whole reason why I bring this up is during our conversation was I believe that you shouldn't feel called out by this. This has got expanding your mind because something you already do great at is you are great about praying for yourself. You're great about praying for your family and the people who are in your circles of influence. Right. And now God's saying, okay, great. You've done amazing here. I'm now going to ask you a little bit more of you.
And I appreciate that. Thank you for changing my perspective of being called out to I'm growing, expanding my brain.
There you go. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. And here we go, right? You're like, oh, Nick, that's so great. Da, 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 da. Nick, Lindsay, that's so great. Like this is actually what I do like day in and day out for people. I love that. Like seriously, like I don't know why I'm not a coach. Why am I not a coach still? Like I give you like free counseling sessions like at least once a week.
Probably twice, maybe 5 times a week. I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and hop over to the next. Oh, hold on. Do you have anything else about prayer? And here we go. Right. If you're in the comments, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Okay. Because I want to know. I can only grow if someone says, ooh, have you thought about it this way? Have you thought about that way? Now, understand what I'm saying here. If you don't believe in prayer, don't go on the offensive. Okay. Don't bring that negativity into your own world because honestly, I'm not going to accept that negativity into my world. So I'm letting you know, ooh, this is almost like a whole nother tangent. Don't bring that negativity into your world. It's so funny. There's this app that I love. It's called iFunny.
Okay.
And I go on there for the memes, right? And it is hilarious to me the amount of negative people that are on this app called iFunny.
Sean says that if you disagree with Nick, you're wrong.
I love you, Sean. Good morning, Dave. How you doing, brother? Dave over here on my personal profile. How you doing, my man?
He might have heard you say that a time or two.
Well, he knows. He knows. He knows. But here we go, right? Like, it's so interesting because I'm on this app called iFunny, and you read these people, and they're so negative about a meme, and it's like, great, like you wrote this really, really mean message to the meme creator, and I can tell you right now, like, that meme creator's laughing at you,
right?
Laughing at you that you are being that angry about a meme.
I mean,
seriously, like, it's just it's so interesting to me. And what people forget is, great, you looked at the meme. Mm-hmm. You heard what Nick said about prayer. You heard about what Lindsay said about prayer. Like, I'm gonna wrap all this up together, right?
Okay.
You heard someone's opinion, and you got all growly about it, and you became a keyboard warrior, right? All right. And you became a keyboard warrior. And in doing so, like that, the guy who created the meme, like, it was funny to him. If it made you angry, he's not worried about it. If you disagree with me on prayer, great. Disagree with me on prayer, or disagree with whatever topic we're talking about of the day, but do it respectfully, because if it comes off as a negative, we'll be like, well, that person, that's something going on in their life. If you got to come out at me and attack,
yeah,
that's something on your life. It's so funny. There's this guy I listen to called Dave. You are blessed. Yes, you are. Yes, you. People need to grow up.
Good morning, Elena. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. So there's a guy named Jordan Peterson. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if you don't know who Jordan Peterson is, go Google him and watch some of his content. And there's this interview he's doing with this reporter, and this reporter is really trying to set him up for failure, like, with every question. And the last one I was reading about dealt with neuroscience.
Okay.
And this reporter's obviously not educated in neuroscience, right? And she's like, oh, well, when people use this kind of a drug, it does this and this and this to him. And he goes, no, it does this and this and this. And she goes, oh, no, you're wrong. He's like, I know my neuroscience. Mm-hmm. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about right now. If you want to go toe to toe with neuroscience, we can go toe to toe. And you immediately, like, sit her, like, she sits back like, uh-oh, I just got him way over my head, right? But Jordan Peterson, during that, he talks about how so many people attack him. Uh-huh. And he's like, when you attack me and you're using this foul language at me, like, I'm not reading your comments. However, if you sit here and we can have a conversation about disagreeing on a particular topic, then let's have that conversation. And I think that's where a lot of the lack of communication has brought us. Is Lindsay and I disagree on things. My wife and I disagree on things. Amber and I disagree on things. Dustin and I disagree on things.
See, Nick is wrong. Nick can be wrong.
Yeah, that's a lie. Okay, but here we go, right? You should be able to disagree on something and still be able to be friends about it.
Yeah.
Okay, and you should be able to disagree on something and still be respectful, honorable about it. And that I believe is lacking right now, because we're not teaching kids it's okay to disagree. Where everyone's like, oh, you have to get on board with this, or you're like, either you're on board with us or you're the enemy. Mm-hmm. And it's not that clean cut.
It's very black and white in a lot of people's minds.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's not that way. No. Hey, we disagree on this. Cool. You want to disagree with me in the comments? Great. I want to hear why, though. Like, don't just be like, oh, Nick, you're wrong. No, Nick, you're wrong, and here's my why behind it. Here's what I believe. Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Thank you for sharing that. And now I can see your point of view, right. And I can hear me on this. You ready for this? I can see your point of view, and I can respect it, because that comes from your life experiences.
But I think so. a lot of the times, Nick is training me on how to disagree. Because a lot of the times he's like, tell me why. And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I think. That's what I believe. That's what I'm feeling right in this moment. Like, I don't know why. And it's so exhausting to go through that process of figuring out my why. But when I do, I either realize that I'm wrong or it helps me understand myself better so that I'm more prepared and I'm more grounded in what I believe and think. But people don't understand why. They don't know how to put it into words all the time. They're just like, this is just what I believe. This is what I think. This is why. This isn't, I don't know the why. This is just what I have.
Lindsay, what you just said was absolute gold.
Of course.
Now here's and understand that this is not Nick patting himself on the back. Hear me on this, okay? She said, I had to put energy into figuring out why I believe what I believe. And I know I totally Nick a phrase that, right?
Yes.
But that's what people don't do.
No, they don't. And
they go off their emotion.
That's why they don't know how to have a conversation on how to disagree and still be friends.
And Lindsay, you're good.
Do that because like we're still friends, but we disagree on quite a bit, actually. Like,
we do?
Yes.
I'm joking.
Yes,
if you're in the audience, no, I am totally messing with Lindsay right now. Mm-hmm. I'm totally because I am. Yeah. I just absolutely am. But I love that. And I love what you said because it takes that energy. It takes that intention to disagree. To disagree on a factual level or on here's what I believe and here's the why behind it. Are you ready for this? If you have a why behind something, now we can have a conversation. And guess what? Your why now gives someone a basis of maybe you expanding your mind or you adjusting your position and expanding that individual's mind and maybe them adjusting their position. When you don't understand the why, we can't have a conversation because it's completely emotional. Mm-hmm. It's not rational. It's emotional.
Which is why people get so angry or upset.
Absolutely.
Or sad or whatever. And they can't get through the emotion because they don't even know why they're having the emotion.
Oh my goodness. You preaching it today, girl. Keep going.
That's all I got.
Oh. Okay, so then in my head, it's like you finished out the rest of that thought.
You can't get through a conversation because you don't know why you're having the emotion behind it. You don't know why you're so passionate about something. And if you don't know why you're so passionate about something, I just started, how crazy. I just started reading,
I love this show. I love doing this show with you.
Yesterday I was listening to Start With Why.
Ooh, good.
How
great
crazy
book. Great book.
Yes, like Nick didn't even know I was listening to that.
I'm so proud of you right now. So proud of you.
But it was talking about how this guy sat on a plane and he was telling him his story and like what he does. But the guy was like, so what? Who cares? And the guy was like, like, what do you mean who cares? Like all this, like, and this guy, like he led him through to understand his why, but it took like a 4-hour flight.
Yep.
Like, it's not, I know. Like, unless you know why, you got to work through it. You got to figure out. And having that understanding, he's like, like, I knew why, but I didn't know how to put it into words. Like, I didn't make that connection of this was my why to why I do what I do and why I love doing what I do. So.
I love that. So one, real quick, comment on YouTube. Nick, did you sleep last night? Yes, Dustin, I did. You want to know what? I have a full cup of cold brew. I'm probably going to go get a second cup of cold brew today.
Yeah.
Because last night with like, I woke up, I walked up the stairs waiting for my daughters to come down. And I was like, they're doing really good. They're sleeping. And then I walked downstairs and she's already in my bed. By the time that the lightning and thunder woke me up, the kids were already in my bed. I was like, I'm going to go get them and carry them down the stairs, and it didn't work. But here we go, right?
That's funny.
It took this individual 4 hours so that person could learn how to start to articulate their why. And in doing so, and that's really what it is, right? It's almost like the analogy that we've used multiple times. Like, this is creating a new neuro pathway.
Yep.
This is now chopping down there's the old path, and we're creating a new path mentally for this individual. And it takes time.
Yep.
And here we go, right? You can't just say, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. No, you have to allow that. You have to let that person walk through it, because it's their mind. It's their neural pathway, right? Like, you get it because you've created that. And that's why it took 4 hours.
Because it wasn't just, he asked the question, well, why? Why does that matter? And he explained, like, yes, it was a story about cleaner steel or something like that. And it's more efficient for the economy or the environment. And it's better on all these other things. So there's like this domino effect of the benefits that they have, but that wasn't his why.
Got it.
That wasn't his why.
What was his why?
Having a better world for his kids and his kids' kids.
Wow.
That was his personal why. So what's your personal why behind it?
You know, it's funny you say that. Like that right there takes the whole company out of the picture. Like, that person's going to excel at their job. That person's going to excel in their position. That person's going to excel at whatever you put them in, because they've now defined their why. Now, the product or service is the vehicle, right? But their why carries so much more weight. It's funny because Eric Thomas talks about this. Who's talking back about? Thank you, Vic. Thank you. You want to know what? It's one of those things when I actually got to start like traveling to like go on stage. Like, I have like 3 people that are going to go with me. It's just
Vic's going to be your muscle.
Yes. He's one of the 3. He is. He absolutely is. So, oh my gosh, I totally just lost my train of thought. Eric Thomas.
Yes.
Eric Thomas. You know, Eric Thomas talks about, you know, how he became the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And he'll call you out. He's like, you're doing it for money. You're doing it for the car. You're doing it for all this material stuff. Okay. I'm doing it for my boo. I'm doing it for my wife. I'm doing it for the woman that got me out from living homeless, eating out of trash cans, and helped put me through college and university. Why are you guys just like slamming doors over here? Goodness gracious. So got me gentle. People just walked in the office, in case you can't tell. You know, Angelina just walked in and she's like, you know, I'm like,
I mean, she is the boss.
I know, right? Goodness. You know, bye. You're fine. But he talks about how his why is so great. You know, it's taking care of the woman that took care of him, that got him to where he is, that you can't out motivate him. He wakes up at 3 a.m. not to make the money, but to take care of his boo. Right? He wakes up at 3 a.m. and he does what he does, not to make more money, not to have fancy cars, because actually, if you listen to Eric Thomas, he preaches on living on 20%. So it's not the money. Okay. But he also knows what it's like to live poor. He also understands what it's like to live without.
Yeah.
But his #1 motivator is to take care of his wife. And if you don't know, his wife has something called MS. And because of that, they had to move to, I believe they moved to somewhere in California because it's better sunlight. And it's just to help her live a better life, right? But that was his motivation. And it's interesting because like your story, after you articulated the why, right?
Yep.
Dr. Billy Allsbrooks, he'll talk about after you've defined your why, is your why strong enough for you to run through walls with? Is your why strong enough to wake up at 5 a.m? Is your why strong enough for you to get done what you need to get done?
Right.
And if it's not, he actually says, if you don't have a strong why, you're not going to succeed. You have to have a strong why. So my mind is going here. Like, you can look at people who have strong whys. Elon Musk. What's his why? Do you know his why?
I don't personally know.
His why is to take the human species from a single planet to a multi-planet species. That's his why. The Tesla packets, the cars, the rockets, all this stuff. If you look at everything he's built, all the technology he's been optimizing, if you took that's specifically for living off of this planet.
Huh.
See, think about it. Your rovers, they can't be gas powered.
Right.
They have to be battery powered.
Right.
Your solar panels, your power grid, everything this man does is to get the human species off of Earth and onto another planet. That's his why.
Okay, so how is that? Why did he buy Twitter? How does that work into his plan? Or is that just for fun?
So Twitter, Elon believes in freedom of speech. He does believe in that. Okay. And what is his number one platform?
He likes Twitter.
That's his platform. Like, he doesn't do Facebook. Right. He does Twitter, right? Are you ready for this? What do you think is going to be the number one social media platform when we go from just being on this planet forward?
Probably Twitter.
Everything that man does is set up to go in a certain trajectory.
So that you can have cross-planet communication, interplanet communication.
Look at Starlink. Bringing a web of satellites that bring internet to anywhere in the world. You think that was for us? That's how he's making money. But all he's going to do is duplicate that around Mars or duplicate that around the moon. Like. I can see your mind you thought this is where it stopped, and it's no, it's way further than what you think it is.
Craziness.
Did you feel that?
I did, yeah.
Did you drop something?
It was below us.
Wow, people just throwing things in this building. Okay, so there we go. That's our Elon Musk part of it. But here we go, right? Understand your why. Know your why.
Nolan says Twitter was his play money.
No, Twitter's how that man is about to make another couple $1 billion. Oh man. Wherever you are, if you are betting against Elon Musk, you are so far behind him you don't even know. That man is thinking 20 steps ahead of you at any given point in time. His marketing team, his social media team, his media team that keeps that front face, they are 20 steps ahead of you. You don't even know. It's so funny. I remember a story where he asked his audience, should I sell this stock? And everyone were, oh my goodness, you should sell your stock and ownership in Tesla and blah, 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 blah. Not knowing that in doing so, he was able to rebuy where Tesla stock was maybe like I'm using simple math here, at $100 a share. He was able to sell his stock at $100 a share and rebuy at $1. So that's what he did. And all the haters came out, oh, why did you do that? Why did you sell your stock and go back and rebuy at $1? That's what y'all told me you wanted me to do. You told me to sell the stock. Like, I did exactly. And here we go. You got played. He knows.
And they hating because they got played.
They hate me because they got played. It's just that simple.
Man.
Just that simple. Okay, so I went off on multiple tangents there. Thank you, Lindsay, for allowing me to go off on tangents.
Of course, it wouldn't be our show if you didn't go off at least once.
But there we go, right? Nolan, I think Nolan with the Twitter's play money, you know, there we go. I just kind of took it there. So, hey, guess what? It's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
What's going on tomorrow, Lindsay?
Cappuccinos and cannolis.
Where we're going to have it?
Our live event is going to be at Pizzeria Testa, which is in downtown Frisco Square.
And if it's raining out, what's the plan?
That's a great question. What's the plan, Nick?
So glad you asked. Angelina says you don't have a plan. Yes, Angelina, Nick does have a plan.
Nick's always got a plan.
So the plan is, if it's nice out, we're going to go sit on the back patio.
Yep.
Okay. I've been talking with them. We're going to get at least one or maybe two tables. Just going to be kind of a come and go. You take care of your own bill, just set up whatever, right? If for some reason it's raining out, we're still going to be there.
We're just not going to be outside.
We're going to be, are you ready for this? We're going to be at the bar.
Oh.
Yes. So when you walk in, don't give me that look, Angelina.
Angelina just got excited. She wasn't giving you a look. She was like, "Can it please rain tomorrow?"
So here we go, right? If you walk in and you say
funny.
you're with Nick and Lindsay with the coffee and cookies, they're going to take you out to the back patio, okay? If it's raining out, when you walk in, if you look to your left, there's 3 tables, and there's a bar right there, and that's where we're going to set up, is over there in that corner.
Well, I like that too.
Right? Like spot. This is a win-win scenario. Win-win scenario. Yep. Vic's going to be there. Awesome, my brother. There you go. See, we got people who'll be showing up. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some coffee, cappuccinos. Vic's like, rain, please.
Are coffee. Did you know that?
It's a form of coffee.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a form of coffee.
It's a fancy. Angelina's like, it's a fancy coffee.
Angelina, I'm going to set your camera up. Yes, ma'am. And you want to know what? When you start coming in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to bring you on and you're going to join us. What do you think? She said that's fine.
She's like, I know I'm not going to be able to change Nick's mind anyway, so might as well just come
along. Just join. Just join in the funniness. Hey, we love you guys. Hey, it is Thursday. You remember? And if you do the remembering, okay, where are you on your big 3? Make sure that you have them doable to be accomplished this week. This is a short week. There's a lot going on, okay? Because, hey, guess what? Is this the last? No, this is the middle. We have one more month after this, right? To end Q2. So we're in the middle of Q2, but of course it's the first week of this month, which means that there's a lot going on.
Yep.
So make sure you guys get done with your big 3. And here's why. You ready? Get done with your big 3, and your reward should be to come join us at Pizzeria.
Cappuccinos and cannolis.
I was going to say at Pizzeria Testa for cappuccinos and cannolis. There you go.
I mean, yeah. I guess that works too.
I love it. But hey, we love you guys. Thank you guys for being in the comments. That's how we know that you're here, right? Other than that, every platform, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, even the podcast, they only give us numbers. So by you guys actually commenting on the videos and liking the videos, that's how we know that you're here with us.
Yes.
That's also what allows us to pray positive over you. And if you do have a prayer request, message us directly. Don't put your prayer request into the chat. Message us directly so we can include that during our prayer time. All right?
Absolutely.
But hey, bring your positive today. Bring your awesomeness today. Know that we love you. And today we want you to
rise up
and crush it. Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
y'all.